2013 was 11 years ago. Back then, a fresh-faced 22-year-old Jimmy Broadbent was just about to start his second year of university. And this man and this car were dominating Formula 1. This is the Red Bull RB9 that took Sebastian Vettel to his fourth consecutive World Drivers' Championship and was the last Red Bull to win a Constructors' Championship until 2022. And yeah, if you're thinking it is that year, the multi-21 year. Multi-21, Seb. Now, outside of the F1 games and some sort of slightly janky in-period mods, there aren't really many places to drive this era, this late era of V8 F1 car. Until recently, that is. I say recently. It's like about a year ago now. The boys at Race Sim Studio released this. It's their version of the Red Bull RB9, and today I'm going to be trying it out in virtual reality, because sometimes you've just got to escape real life. And for that extra level of immersion, I'm going to be using this Moser KS wheel. It's not the exact same shape as the Red Bull wheel, but it's pretty damn close. And as you may have guessed, we actually stocked this Moser KS wheel over at Abruzzi. So if you're interested in picking one of these up or any other piece of sim racing equipment, feel free to drop down below to the description, head over to Abruzzi, and we'll see what we can do for you. Also, how good is this like quick release noise? It's on. You know, there's never not a moment where I don't feel utterly ridiculous wearing this like box on my head, but here we are inside the Red Bull RB9, and immediately you were just overloaded with detail from this mod. First of all, look at this wheel, every button down to the little stickers on the back of the wheel, which I'm reaching out to touch but aren't actually there right now. All have the correct modes on. We have these little weird smiley faces down here. Can you see those? We have like the mock F1 style like chassis and steward things down there as well. And it says Racy Roxy there as well, right on the dash, which is a reference of course to what Seb Vettel would name his cars. Well, let's roll this thing out the pits then and see what it's like to drive an F1 car from over a decade ago now. And straight away the first thing we notice is we have noise! Actual noise! Not a muted 1.6 litre turbo engine. Mighty Renault V8 instead. About 700 horsepower from the NA V8 behind us as I almost run into the barrier straight away. We also have KERS and DRS. KERS mapped to each of the buttons on the top here to sort of get a feel for how the car will handle. And these things, compared to modern cars anyway, nowhere near as quick in a straight line. I mean, I'd be surprised if we get up anywhere near 200 miles an hour, which you can just about see on the dash in front of me there in kph. But relatively, pretty stuck to the ground, although definitely slower than modern F1 cars. Hopefully though, because they're a bit smaller as well, a bit more lively in the corners, a little bit less prone to having just mega death situations whenever you get off that special bit of downforce, that special bit of grip that the modern cars seem to require. It's kind of weird driving a car that's, I guess, so linear in power. Modern F1 cars are not awful, but there's definitely a bit of the turbo kicks in. In this, it feels so soft on the throttle almost that it's easy. It's not a hard thing to do. Just trying to get a feel for the thing. I've not actually driven one of these eras of F1 cars, probably since one of the F1 games in period. It's been a very long time, so getting a feel for it whilst doing it in VR, it's so good. The speed of the thing really highlighted by virtual reality. And I've found now, since I've had the pleasure of driving around here in real life and racing here in real life, that being in VR hits a bit different. It feels a lot more intense than it used to. Of course, it suffers from the same thing that every F1 car does when we try and lap it around here. Just the bumps around here are insane. In terms of how fast this thing is going to lap around here, I don't really know. I always like not knowing, because I get surprised at the end when it ends up, as always, blowing my expectations of what is quick around here. Right, lap time. Let's see if we can get a decent hot lap out of this thing. So, Sebastian Vettel's, oh god. I think that's my shortest lap ever. Right, let's try it again. Hotlap. God damn it! I promise that I'm a real-life driver. I promise. Car being so progressive in power delivery. Oh, God, curb. Just got a little bit sidetrack there. Fast ad now. Easy up the top, just a little bit from. Oh no, it's the 8-second ring king. Right, I'm confident. This is going to be the one. All right. Nice warm rear tyres. What could go wrong? Oh, chat, this is a hard one, mate. Definitely my first attempt at a hot lap. Do not ask the editor.
Whoops.
Let's start our hot lap in the Red Bull RB9 at the Nordschleife. Nice and chill through the first part of a lap. Up towards Hatson back now, which is completely and easily flat in this car. Even when you touch the curb like that and nearly die, what are you doing, Jimmy? Hope that doesn't dictate the rest of the lap. Oh my God, it says that. I'm too used to running a GT4 around here, touching all these curbs. Can't do that in this car at all. Nice and clean through there, but those sort of sections, those third, fourth gear sections are where this car really feels very different to modern machinery. And here too, hate to say it, but the car feels almost slow in comparison. Just don't quite have that speed from the engine. Quite a bit less horsepower than modern machinery, about 200 horsepower less it feels like, something like that. And this drag as well, really not helping us to become optimal shred and cross easy flat. How late can we brake? About that late. Also bad. Back on that throttle, that linear power delivery making life quite easy, I got to say, when getting on that loud pedal. Down the hill. Watch that compression. We can probably flat through here. Yeah, easily flat. And then down through the gears and try and scrub off some of that speed, because all that uber grip you're used to getting at high speed when the aero load is on just dissipates at low speed, and you're left with only the tyres and suspension and that mechanical grip to keep you on the road surface. Try and be nice and neat and tidy through these sections here. This is where you can really make or break a lap. Here is just getting the car to that curb on the inside. That's where all the camber is. That's where all the turning potential of the track is. All lift on the way through, then back on again. Oh, it's fast through there, very fast through there. And down to second gear. Slowest part of the course. And pretty much nail the throttle there. And the rear tyres just grip. No TC, no ABS of course in this car, but you don't need it. The car has just so much grip from these relatively skinny tyres compared to modern cars. Down to berg work. Really tricky corner in sim this. Find it much easier in real life. And now, this is where we're going to use our curves. So on that curves button, see that little green light on our wheel lighting up? Just drain the energy. And the reason why I'm doing that here is because this is where we suffer most from lack of top speed. As soon as I see 285 on the dash, we're going to go down to 7th gear, or 6th gear, sorry. And we're going to keep it lit in 6th gear, much more speed here. You can see how important it is to be in the right RPM, and how that engine power, the peak, is right at the top. Right at the top of the rev range, so you've got to try and stay there. Right, carousel time. Got to be careful through here, as we found out previously. We're going to slow it down a bit to make sure we get the car in nicely. For all the power and all the grip everywhere else in the circuit, through there we are slow, probably slower than some of the GT cars that go through there. Right now it's about trying to keep a little bit of throttle on. Don't come off the throttle entirely, or the whole weight shifts and the car will spin. Nicely, nicely. Through this section now, through the Whipperman, and now through this awesome last section of circuit. This is where this car does feel quite a bit different to modern machinery. You really start to notice just that lack of downforce compared to those modern cars, and power. It's much more about momentum, which is crazy to say in an F1 car, but that's the difference 10 years makes, a decade makes in car design. Oh, got a bit wide there. It's understeered out, didn't quite turn the car in the right way. Now for the roller coaster, just hanging on for dear life. And VR, it really does feel like you can find yourself in a wall very quickly if you're not careful. Oh, watch out for that curb, Jimmy. Oh, God. I thought it was over then. Second carousel. Big bump going through there. You can tell from the headset as well. You almost feel the bumps of the circuit with this thing, despite the fact you're sitting still in your bedroom. Right, DRS open. As soon as the button's on there, it is nice. So DRS open now. You can see in our little mirror, there's our flap. Lap time looking pretty good right now. Just staying to the left-hand side like we do in real life, trying to avoid the wind that comes over from the left-hand side of the circuit. DRS still open for now. It will close as we go underneath the bridge. There we go. And now it's just a couple more corners to nail. Just a few more corners to get right. And we'll get a lap time for this thing. Easy, easy, easy. So easy to spin the car at this speed. Second gear for the last corner. Nail it to the line. And it's a 5:21.7, we'll say. It is so cool being able to jump into sim and do these little silly experiments. See how fast these cars that will never lap here in anger in real life for numerous reasons, to get an idea of just how quick they would be. 5:21 is so fast. For context, our BMW M4 GT4 car can lap this version of the circuit in about 7 minutes flat. And that is a purpose-built race car. This is over a minute and a half faster. And dare I say as well, this was a bit more fun to drive than a modern car. It was more on edge. I felt like I was dancing around more, despite having nicer, more linear power delivery. The car itself felt more agile. I felt like I was really hustling it through corners. It's just, I really hope they start working on those F1 cars soon, because it was just more fun than the modern limousines that are driven today.